Welcome, all you mid peasants, to this week's review episode of House of the Dragon. I am your host, Katherine, joined by everyone's favorite House of the Dragon fan, Jordan. So let's get these peasants informed with our takes on this week's episode.
Uh,
Welcome to the Mid Podcast. I'm your host, Katherine, here with my good pal, Jordan. Today we're going to discuss
Hello.
episode 5, titled Regents. So, without further ado, let's fire up into our pre-show thoughts. So, you want to go first with your pre-show thoughts, Jordan?
Sure. This episode was a little slow. However, I do like the fact that at the end of it, they teased new dragons. They mentioned two that I'm excited to see, and of course I can't remember their names, and I didn't take a note about it, but um, the I know one of them. I can't remember his name or her name, but she's like the next biggest to Vagar. So I'm really excited to see that,
Oh,
and they've already showed them on that one on the show. But yeah,
Vermore? I don't know if I'm saying that correctly.
yeah, that sounds right.
Vermore?
Yeah, yeah,
Yeah, I have a picture of like the dragons in order as big as they are.
yeah. Let me find. I don't know where I put it, but I had that
I'll
picture.
send it to you and show you what I have. What am I looking for? Oh, I'll send it to you in Discord. Oh, no, I don't want to send it to Bobby.
uh,
There, I sent it.
yeah, that's literally what I'm looking. Yeah, this is clear. Yeah, Vermithor. Vermithor. Yeah.
Yeah, I agree with you. I thought the episode was like a filler episode. It didn't
Yeah.
it didn't seem like it was well, it seemed like it was kind of all over the place. Like there was some good parts, there were some boring parts, but it didn't like mesh together.
Yeah.
Like it just kept
S-
flopping from one thing to another and they didn't really coexist or flow.
Yeah. Seems like they were like filling in little cracks, I guess you could say.
Yeah, I feel
Um,
like they kind of was laying the groundwork for the unrest we're going to see in King's Landing eventually.
yes. Yes. And I called it like, which I'm excited to see. Like it's already like kind of hectic already because they were trying to like escape, which I'm like, oh shit. But yeah, yeah. And then when what's his face? I really did a terrible job at taking notes. Oh my God. Um, the one that is oh, what is his name? Aegon's brother. That's like
Amen.
kind of yeah,
Amen.
yeah. When he at the end of his speech when he was like, "Oh yeah, and cut the fucking
Rat catchers now.
rat catchers down." I'm like, "About time." Like, "Oh my God." But yeah. But yeah, they're gonna have a riot on their hands if they don't like these people are starving. Like what the fuck? Like I get it. Vagar needs to recover from her big battle, but which that's another thing that they teased is that they might be attacking King's Landing. Well, the blacks might be attacking King's Landing because Vagar has to recover. Um, I guess blowing fire um, takes a lot out of you. But yeah,
And if you remember, Vagar also did suffer some injuries with its fight with Melise.
yeah. Which I was excited.
Got the
I love
claws in
Vagar,
there.
but
She got the claws in there.
yeah, yeah,
And so gotta let
yeah,
that skin heal.
yeah, yeah, yeah.
So
And we also saw. Oh, I'm sure we'll talk about it, but Aegon, oh, when Alicent like like left, and then they showed Aegon like actually speaking, and he said, "Mommy." I'm like, oh my God, I felt like kind of bad for him. Well, I do actually feel bad for him considering like his brother tried to kill him. Like, yeah, yeah. But yeah, that's like my quick thoughts.
So mine is like how men don't accept women, but as like Alicent and Rhaenyra's, and pretty much want them to be told their place. Which,
Yeah, and yeah, it's crazy that they're both like they're on opposite sides, but they're dealing with similar situations. Like they can't really. One is supposed to be freaking queen, and she still can't get a word in. Like really, like they're not really listening to her. And then also she's about to be a fucking. Well, I don't know, but it seems that she's going to be like. Oh, she's already been headbutting with her uncle, but it seems like it's going to come
get
to a
worse.
boil.
Yeah, we're gonna talk
Yeah,
about that.
get worse.
I
Yeah,
have that in my notes.
yeah,
I did
yeah.
put in my notes that Aegon looked like a day old overcooked sausage.
Somebody, yeah. Oh my God, yeah. Yeah, he was roasted. Speaking of, when they were like just meat, I'm like, yeah, he looks like rotisserie meat. Oh my God. And then the whole day, I found it interesting. The member berries are coming back. This was in my notes too. I found it interesting when they were parading the dead dragon head like through the street. Like they wanted it to, it didn't really um have the effect that they intended it to. Like these people saw it more as a omen
Mm-hmm.
because it's like, oh, so anybody can kill dragons is
Mm-hmm.
what you're showing us,
Mm-hmm.
which was interesting. Yeah,
I thought it was kind of interesting. Aemon stealing the throne from out from under his mother,
yeah,
but
yeah.
then
And the
people,
look that she gave him,
mm-hmm,
oh, it looks, oh, that was
looks to kill,
juicy.
he'd have been dead.
Yes, that was so good. The just, oh, that actress, chef's kiss, because that look said so many things without saying a word. Like it's like, oh, I don't trust you. Like she doesn't know, but she knows
Mm-hmm. We're
what
gonna
he
talk about
did.
that.
Yeah,
You mentioned
yeah,
them dragging Melissa's head through the city street, and they're thinking Rhaenyra is responsible. So my question is, what are they gonna do when they find out that it wasn't Rhaenyra who was responsible, and that Aemon's gonna end up being a tyrant? Because I think he's gonna end up being a tyrant.
yeah, absolutely. Hmm. I, I'm not surprised that they did that. That they, of course, blamed the opposing side. That's what they're good at doing. It's not the first time, and I'm sure it's probably not going to be the last. Um, yeah, I don't know. I can't wait for their people to freaking turn against them because it's gonna happen. They're teasing it.
Yeah, they are. So would you agree with this assessment on these dragons? Melis is the fastest, Vagar is the largest, Caraxes is the most furious, and Sunfire is the most beautiful.
Yeah, yeah, Sunfire is beautiful. Oh my God, it was. Oh, I don't know if it's a he or she, but they were so pretty. Um, which I did make a note about this. Oh, where's it at? Oh, where are you at? Apparently, in the in the show, it seems that Sunfire is actually dead. However, in the books, they don't die. And actually they do like I don't know what it is because I didn't I haven't read the books, but from what people have been saying is that they without giving it away, um
Kind of regenerate.
to like the people. Oh no, no. Well, so in the book, they don't die, and but they also do like big things that um that uh, that like they do bigger things like in the story later on of like oh my God, words with House of Dragons. So but because as far as we know, they're dead in the show, it seems like that's like a change compared to the books. So I'm wondering, like, after watching this, I really want to read the books to see like what all they changed. Because this seems like a really big change. Because like if she's like if they I don't know if it's a
They
male or
killed her off,
female.
and
And apparently
she's not supposed to be dead.
yeah, exactly. And she's apparently playing a bigger part like later on. I don't know what she does, but apparently it's big. But yeah, I need to read the books because I'm curious. And then, but clearly, even if I don't feel bad, like even if I start reading the books now, like it's not really gonna be like spoiling the show considering they're making so many changes. Which I mean, I don't think is a bad thing because from what I've seen, a lot of the changes, like even the early episodes, are like they seem to be maybe not for the better, but like, well, yeah, maybe for the better for the most part. But yeah, I found that interesting, and I'm really curious to see like in the books what she does and how if they will do the same things but differently. I don't know. I'm
We
talking
got
in circles, but yeah.
we got introduced to a new character. The As I call her, the Chicken Blue, and I'm probably gonna butcher her name, but Jane Aaron.
Oh yeah,
Your thoughts
yeah.
on her?
That she's
People can tell
interesting
kind of
from
bitchy.
yeah, yeah. I do like her though. She and I like that they kind of like they see that they're both in the same situation. Well, they're dealing with similar things. So it seems like they're going to get along eventually. But apparently, um, the Greens. Oh, so apparently, she doesn't have a husband because she's a lesbian, and the Greens obviously don't like that because they're super religious and this and that. Um, so and the fact that the blacks are giving her dragons, even though she's not happy about the size or the age of the dragons, um, that just gives her more ammunition to be on their side. So, but yeah, that place that I think it's called the Veil. I
Mm-hmm.
may be wrong.
Yes, the veil.
Yeah, it's really interesting. It looks really different um compared to Game of Thrones. Like it's not well, in Game of Thrones, it's obviously aged and like it's a little more decrepit. Actually, it looks it's in Game of Thrones, it's giving Harrenhal vibes. Maybe not as bad as Harrenhal, but but yeah. Speaking of, I don't think I mentioned it, but two things. There's been memes on like Twitter about how um people are comparing Harrenhal to the Nintendo game Luigi's Mansion because of like the ghosts and stuff. Oh my God. It was hilarious. And then also people were comparing Jack oh my God, what's her name? What's his name? The son that went to go like negotiate. I forgot his name. Jackarat
Jacarius.
Jackarus? Jacarius. I spelled it wrong. Um, but the yeah, the faces that he was giving, which he incredible. I loved his scenes in this episode, but some of the faces that he was making, people were comparing to like Zoolander, which I found hilarious as well. Because he was serving fish lips, or but yeah, it was hilarious. That actor is amazing though. But yeah,
So while this episode was sort of like a filler, I thought it did handle the grieving part of it well, where they were grieving on Rhaenys.
yeah, yeah. Her the daughter, the conversation between the daughter and her grandfather.
Father. It
Wait,
was her
was it
grandfather.
grandfather?
Damon's her
Yeah,
father.
that. Yeah. But that was very interesting. Excuse me. The she she whipped him into shape. She was like, I know she's dead, but you need to get your ass up and work. Like, stop. Like now is not. We are at war, bitch. It is not the time to be whatever you're being right now. Um, and I love what she said. What was it? She's she says something like I'm like fire and
Yeah, I got it.
blood,
I got it written down in
and
my notes.
oh, that was such a good line. That was such a
So
good line.
we're gonna talk about it.
Yeah.
So my question is, how can a dragon be a traitor? Because they were saying that the dragon was
Well,
a traitor.
oh well, that's just them like that's just them like spinning the yeah, that's a I mean they are sentient, but they do like follow orders, and they don't go anywhere unless they have a rider, unless they're not like unless they don't have a rider. Um like the dragons under Dragonstone. Um but even those they don't go anywhere really. So yeah, that's just them making stupid lies and yeah, trying
So,
to win over the people.
so even though Rhaenys wasn't in the episode, you could still feel her presence in this episode, episode 5. Did you feel that way?
Yeah. Yeah, especially like what was it? I forgot what I was about to say. But yes, to answer your question, yes. Yeah.
And then we have Aegon, who wants to try to be like Darth Vader.
Yeah.
I mean,
I
you
know he
gotta
was in that
feel
box.
sorry for him, right?
Yeah. I can't it's so sad that like again, I can't believe like his brother and just his face like it it changed so quickly. Like it's like, yeah, he's here to save us. Shit. He's here to kill us. Like, oh my God. Like, that was crazy. Like, oh my God.
Did did you
Mm.
be when he was laying in bed, when Aegon was laying in bed and they were like working on him? Did it remind you of like his father laying in bed half dead?
Yes. Oh my God. I've seen so many compare it, well, watching it, it reminded me of that, like just the two-face of it all. But yeah, I will say he looks better off than his dad.
Yeah,
At
they
least
did
so
a really
far.
good job on him.
Yeah. At least he's not like decaying like his dad was. Bleh.
Yeah,
Yeah.
that was kind of nasty. Moving on to
Yeah.
the boy who wants to be king.
Yeah.
He's becoming more ruthless and violent, and I fear that the people are going to turn on him.
Oh, absolutely. Um, I forgot what he. I just remember the end of his speech about cut down the fucking rat catcher, which I'm really glad he decided to do that because I think they showed them in this episode.
Hmm?
They look
They
disgusting.
were decaying tremendously.
Yeah, exactly. Like nobody wants to see that. Blech. Mm-mm. Like feed them to the dragons. I don't even know if their dragons would want that.
But
I don't
they
even
did
think
that
Vagar would eat
back
that.
in that time though, they did that and they left people up there to be a symbol and a reminder of don't fuck with the monarchy or don't fuck with the ruler.
Oh, absolutely. Yeah, as a sign. But I feel like if you do that too much, they may be like, okay, these people are way too strict. It's time to change shit up,
Hmm.
which clearly they're starting to feel that way.
Moving on to your favorite person, Sir Christian. He didn't get the
Hmm.
response from the people that he thought he was going to when he paraded Melissa's head through the city street. I put in my notes, you are
Yeah.
no Caesar.
Yeah. This man is so fucking stupid. Like, I really don't like him. He's so hot. The actor is so hot, but his character is such an asshole and so fucking stupid. Again, why is he the expert? Like, why not the expert? Why is he whatever his position is? Because he did not earn it. Um, and now he is just so sad and depressed, and you can visibly see it. Like, I don't even. It's clear that Alicent doesn't even want anything to do with him anymore. It's like, dang, you left Rhaenyra for Alicent, and now she don't even want you. That's crazy. Maybe it's not the women. Maybe it's you. But yeah,
Maybe it is.
yeah. Yeah. I kind of feel no, I don't. I I don't. Maybe I only feel bad for him because he's hot. That's really the only. Maybe a slight, yeah,
William
feeling of
did show his true colors in the council meeting when he turned on Alicent, or as I put in my notes, his bed partner.
yeah,
And then you have to admit, he's got to get the worst job performance ever because in 2 weeks, he's had two promotions, one dead prince, one aborted child, one incapacitated dragon, and one incapacitated king.
yeah. He's doing a fantastic job for the for the blacks.
The greens.
He's right. Yeah, he's doing a fantastic job at killing the greens for the blacks. Like, it's crazy. It's almost like he's on the black side. He's not really. I don't think he'll ever switch back, and I don't even think they would accept him back. But yeah,
So moving on to Alicent. She thought she was going to get her power back, and yet her two bed lovers turned on her. Karma is a bitch.
agreed. That's what she gets for being a prude. Um, but I do kind of feel bad for her. Maybe a little bit because it's like, damn, it's like but yeah, at the same time though, karma is a bitch. But it is sad though, like she's the mother, and they're not like listening to her at all. It's like she could have these people killed. Like,
Well, I mean, she raised an evil son in Aemon. What do you expect? Now she's got to live with the consequences.
true,
I
true.
did I did like how everyone on the council turned on her.
Yeah.
I put in my notes, you really thought they'd let you lead when this whole war is because they wouldn't let a woman on the Iron Throne?
Yeah. And she kind of started the whole thing like herself. So yeah, she started the war. Like, yeah. So yeah, karma's a bitch and she's earned it all.
And she fought against her friends with men who didn't want her to ascend to the throne because she was a woman, and you thought they would respect you?
Yeah, like you took the side of like these bigots that didn't want a woman like in power, and you think they're gonna let you in power? Come on. Like, yeah, you betrayed your best friend and slept with your best friend's father. How shitty can you be? Like, how shitty must you feel? Like, oh my God. Mm.
And do you think she knows that Aemon tried to kill Aegon and is capable of tearing down Westeros? but knows she can't do anything about it.
Uh, she, I don't know if she knows how bad it was, but clearly she's asking questions and looking at and giving him the side eye. So she knows something. She knows that he didn't die from not die. She knows that he wasn't injured from the opposing side. I think. Um, yeah.
So moving on, let's discuss Damon in this episode. Is it me or are they making him look weak with all these mind games and hallucinations?
Honestly, I'm sick of him. My favorite parts of Damon in this episode, especially, well, first of all, him fucking his mother. Can we not show that or do that ever again? Like,
We're
please
gonna
don't.
really talk about that. I got some good stuff on that one.
But the scenes where he was like, it was so fucking hilarious. Him trying to get the Brackens on his side. It was so funny. And like they show oh what's his name? The dragon's name, the bloodworm. The scene
Caraxus
of
is his dragon
him,
name.
huh?
Caraxus is his.
Correct. Yeah, yeah. Well, the nickname is bloodworm, but when they show the the come
The
on,
dude
brain.
turning around on his horse and galloping away, and the
Yes,
dragon
that
coming
shit
in.
was so funny. And I was cracking up. It was at, at first I was like, "Oh shit." And then they cut to him like saying, "Well, I thought they would surrender." And this and that. And we find out that they were alive. I'm like, what the fuck? That it was so funny. Oh my God. That scene, and then there was another one. I can't remember what it was, but just that whole situation. He's had some really funny lines, especially like even in the last episode when he was asking that kid to like kill his parents or whatever.
Oh, his
That was
grandfather
hilarious as
to get his
well.
inheritance.
Yeah. Yeah. Oh my God. Like as ruthless as he is very hilarious. Oh my God. But
I
I
did
think
like
this
him in his
episode
armor
was
though. He did look
hilarious.
good sitting on that rock on his armor.
Agreed. Yeah. But that scene was so funny. I did not expect to laugh that much. Oh my God. But and then just the scene, just the like the dragon's face blurry and like you I really thought they were about to roast that damn
I did
horse in
too.
person.
That's what
It
I
was
thought.
so good though.
I thought the dragon was getting ready to gear up, and we were gonna see some fire.
Right. I'm like, oh shit, here we go. Dracarys.
I'm still not sure what the witch did to him, but can she please reverse it? Because it's kind of getting on my nerves.
Right. Like even when he came back at the dinner table, she was looking at him like, the fuck is wrong with you? I'm like, bitch, you know what's wrong with him. Fix it. Stop
Hmm.
it. Cause like honestly, I don't know what the point of all that is. Um,
That's what I
but
don't
it's getting on
understand.
my nerves.
That's what I don't understand. What's the
Yeah.
point of all of her and his dynamic? Is she
Yeah, like I get it. She's a witch.
trying to
She
make him
can
go
like
insane?
maybe see into the future.
Yeah.
Huh?
Is she trying to make him go insane?
Yeah. I'm just sick of like seeing it because it's feeling more and more like filler. Is like, okay, what else can we put into this episode to like to make the time that we need? Oh, let's put more of the witch fucking with Damien.
Mm.
Yeah. Damon. Yeah. Like we don't need that. Let's get to the actual interesting stuff.
I do think that he'll try and take the throne himself.
Oh yeah, absolutely.
And then
Um,
him
I just
renovating Heron Hall himself, like cutting wood and stuff instead of talking to Rhaenyra, that was hilarious. Like you'd rather be rebuilding
yeah,
the castle than to try to work things out with your niece and the woman you married.
right. Yeah, like that's just really showing how hard-headed you are. It's like, damn, you really just want to feel like you're right. But yeah, he pissed. I love him, but he was funny in this episode, but he does piss me off. Like, come on, why can't we just get along? Like, why can't you just let her be queen? Like, okay, she may not be as experienced as you are, but as her husband, this is where you step in and like educate her. Like,
and give her advice.
exactly. Yeah. Not try to fucking take the throne from her. Yeah.
So let's move on to Corlius. The actor was tremendous in this episode. He made you feel sadness, anger, and guilt. And I love the scene with him and his granddaughter. And I thought he is going to play, I think he's going to play a role in all this, but I'm not sure what it is yet.
Yeah. I think he's going to I think he's going to reach out to his bastard sons. And I think the one with not the bald-headed one, the one with dreads. I've heard rumors that like or at least in the books that he's like he becomes a dragon rider. And first of all, that man is so damn fine. um but um but I think it would be cool if he does actually ride dragons. Yeah.
Do you
Speaking
remember the scene
off
where
subject,
Corlius went into like the throne room and sat down in the chair and was thinking about
yes.
Venus and the tear come out of his eye? They said
Apparently, and I was watching.
that was not planned. He just did it.
Yes, yes, incredible acting. Yeah, I was just about to say this. Yeah, that was incredible. I didn't realize that wasn't planned, but it was perfect. It perfect for the scene and for the
I
character.
always watch
Yeah,
the thing that comes on afterwards where they talk about that episode and stuff within the episode. And I think the lady that was directing the episode said that that wasn't planned. It just happened.
yeah, yeah.
So let's talk about Bela.
Incredible actor.
Let's talk about Bela
Mm,
and the line she said to her grandfather. Rhaenys wasn't just your wife. She was a Targaryen princess. She was the queen who never was, and she met her end fighting for her queen. I put in my notes, this girl is going to be a great leader one day, talking about Bela. Then Bela responds
yeah,
to her grandfather after he said that he would make her the heir of Driftwood. She says that I am blood and fire. I think she was the MVP of this episode. All her lines and scenes were great,
absolutely.
and you kind of seen her character moving forward into like what kind of leader she's gonna eventually be.
Agreed. Um, and I love like that she had like a little like not little, but she had like a pep talk with her grandfather, like, and then she kind of like gave him a hint, like, hey, maybe you should reach out to your bastard sons. They are gonna be the ones that, and even speaking of like, I think I'm going, yeah, I'm going back an episode. Um, I found it interesting that before she died, she reached out to the bastard sons and like kind of like was like, I don't care that you're like a bastard son. I love you and respect you like as a regular child of my husband. Um, yeah, I found that interesting. She was so yeah, which makes me miss her even more in this episode and feel more for Reina's speech. Like both incredible actresses. Yeah.
So let's move on and talk about Jacarius or Jace. I put he has some spunk to him,
Yes.
and he is a cunty little lad. So he
He
basically
is.
go ahead.
I'm just saying I love him. I love him.
He basically single-handedly secured the North, the Vale, and the Twins like he is not playing around.
for real though, that was such a good scene. Like, and he was serving cut. Let's be real. Like, oh my God, I love that scene so much, and just that scene alone makes me like love this actor so much. Like, and I look forward to seeing what else he does after this show. But and I'm excited to see what he does in the show and like what role he plays. I can't wait for him to ride dragons and stuff. But yeah, yeah, badass, badass, and the where was I going with that? Um, Aemond. I'm curious to see if him and Aemon like, but or even Damon like if they butt heads or like fight or something because he's kind of. I mean, he's not. He's. It seems like he's kind of not cocky like Damon, but like he's feeling confident, but which is what Damon is. But Damon's also kind of an asshole, but he doesn't seem to be an asshole. So yeah, I'm just curious to see. I'm just curious to see them like interact more and see. Yeah, I love his character though, and I love this scene that he was in. Again, Zoolander vibes so much.
So, moving on to our next segment of the episode, the best tweets I've seen on X.
Oh god.
This one is pertaining to Allison. Says she got what she deserved. I agree. Watching Sir Kristen and Laris use the same moral compass against her that they used to argue against Rhaenyra was satisfying to see.
Agreed. Yeah.
My
Yeah,
second,
that little oh,
go ahead.
her I was gonna say her moral compass is fucking broken. She needs to
Have
get it
one.
fixed.
Does she have
Yeah,
one?
exactly. It's
Next,
invisible.
next one. Allison was doing OnlyFans for Laris and Cole for nothing.
Yeah, yeah.
And the third one, the third one had me. It says, I believe Aegon has essentially a broken dick, so he cannot enjoy nor know carnal knowledge because of his injuries. He is in his own misery or nightmare.
Yeah, I didn't even think about that. That's funny, but also like he's like essentially seems like he's kind of paralyzed right now, and he's the person that tried to kill him is now like kind of taking over. Like that is a nightmare. Oh my God, I didn't even think about that. That's yeah, that's crazy. Like imagine how just imagining how like upset, sad, yeah, he feels. And it seems like in this episode, the because in the previous episodes, Allison didn't really give a fuck about him.
I don't think she really gives a fuck
But
about either
in
one of them kids or all three of them
oh
kids.
yeah, but it seemed like that scene with like when she walks out and he speaks. But before all that, it seems like she was maybe there was a slight sense of compassion and caring from her. I don't know. Maybe I'm giving her too much. Um, what's the word? I can't think. Oh my God. But yeah, I don't know.
Moving on to our next segment, thoughts on this. This is referring to Aegon and Helena. So let me know what you think. It was a big mistake in the midst of a struggle for the throne to marry her full children to each other. The point of having kids in nobility is to create alliances and loyalty.
Yeah,
So you fucked it up by marrying
yeah,
your daughter, marry her brother.
yeah. Like the like
When you
even
could have
in
promised
like
like
the
the
like
son to the daughter of like this like the Starks, or
Exactly.
your daughter to
Yes.
one of the sons to somebody else, and then you'd have alliances and have a bigger army and whatnot.
Yeah. I was just about to say that. Like even like in the British, excuse me, in the British kingdom, like um they do that. Like in most kingdom, like most like monarchies, they that's what they do. They marry people off.
Yeah,
Why the
like
fuck aren't they doing
it's
that
like,
here? Like,
and if they're related, they're like fifth and sixth cousins, so it's not really gonna matter that much.
yeah, yeah.
But like
Whereas
Queen Elizabeth was
you're with your
married
sister.
to, yeah, well, Queen Elizabeth II was married, crap, I forgot, Philip. He was from Spain. And just
Yeah.
like
Th-
Tsar Nicholas II of Russia, who was married to Alexandra, she was from Germany. So you were building alliances. That's how you did it. You married your children off to other countries to get that country to back you when you go to war.
yeah, exactly. Yeah. Which yeah, it doesn't make sense that they're doing that in this show. But I mean, I'm not surprised that that's what they're doing. It seems that speaking of on the black side that uh J I cannot Jacker fuck
Jacarius?
Jacarius. I need to fix that because I'm saying it wrong. Because I spelled it wrong. But Jacarius and uh the
Bela?
one he was talking to.
Bela?
Yeah. Seems like they're gonna have a thing. I don't know, but it it seems like there's something there. I'm pretty sure that like Rhaenyra wants them to be together. Um, I don't know. I may be wrong, but yeah.
So another thing that I want your thought on. So kind of going back to the last episode, what if Melis has said to Rhaenys, attack? Hell no. That old ass dragon bitch is 4 times my size and has been fighting since Aegon the Conqueror's days. I'm out, flying you back to Dragonstone.
I don't blame her. I would have been like, okay, yeah, let's go. I want to live. Fuck that big bitch. I'm going home.
Fun fact, 7 years ago today on Game of Thrones, Daenerys Targaryen arrived in Westeros with her 3 dragons,
Oh.
8,000 unsullied, and 100,000 Dothrakis. And I probably pronounced that wrong. That was
I
interesting.
didn't realize that. That yeah, that is interesting. Makes me miss the original show. But I do love this show. Um, but yeah.
So we're gonna get into the actual show. And it starts off with Corlys sitting on the throne and mourning the death of his wife. Then we move on to see the commoners in King's Landing as the army marches through the street with the head of Meleys claiming she was defeated by the king. I put this was the stupidest thing Cole could do, parading around the head of a dragon, as it's the symbol of the House of Targaryen's power. So he basically just showed the
Exactly.
people that they are not as powerful as they thought.
Yeah, like these people, like Targaryens, they worship dragons. That'd be like in like the countries where like like what is it? Pork, like pigs are like sacred. That'd be the essentially the same thing. Like, yeah. Why would you do that? Like,
Nobody said Sir Christian Cole was very smart.
true. And he continues to prove it.
This scene was sad and horrifying at the same time. Then you hear one of the commoners say, "Mark my words, this is a black omen." Then you hear another one
Mm,
say, "I thought the dragons were gods. This will make the people not fear their king anymore."
agreed. that's exactly what I was thinking. Yeah.
Then the crowd doesn't celebrate as the army marches through town, and Cole tells Allison's brother, which I forget his name, he says, "Don't they realize we won the battle? They probably didn't even know you were at war, dipshit."
Exactly. Like this war that they didn't ask for. Oh, okay.
Then I put that, I mean, that's what's going to happen when you show the public the dragons are killable. They don't fear you anymore. Then we see Alicent
Exactly.
and Aemon on the castle watching them come in with Aegon. Alicent looks at him in a strange way, looking at Aemon. Then I put, Alicent is such a hypocrite.
Yeah.
It's her fault that Aegon ran right into the battle. Then she hates right on her other son.
Yeah. I mean, I don't blame her for kind of hating for kind of hating her other son because seems like she's kind of suspicious of like what role he played in her son's her other son's injuries. So, but also, as you said, you should have stopped them from being there in the first place. Yeah.
Then we see the king being carried up the stairs of the castle, and Helena is standing in the corner. Then you see them remove the sword and the king's body from I don't want to say coffin, but the coffin, as Alice
Yeah.
walks in as the doctors begin to work on him. She asks if he's alive. They say he remains with us for the moment. Then I put, he looks like Anakin Skywalker after the scene in Revenge of the Sith where he gets burned.
Yes. Yes.
Then you have the staff is peeling away his armor, and you can see what looks like a steak on a grill with the charred marks on him.
Hmm. And just the noises coming from that. Oh God, it was disgusting. Mm,
Then we
yeah.
then we see Aemon walks in, probably thinking, why didn't he die? And then he tells Alice that someone will have to take his role in or have to rule in his absence. Then we see Cole looks like he's sharpening his sword or cleaning his sword as Allison walks in and asks what happened. She asks about the king, and he says his grace fought valiantly. And then she asks about Aemon and what was his part in this. And Cole lies and says he cannot say.
Like, come up with a better excuse. Why can't you say like you were fucking there? How do you not know?
He's a liar.
Yeah.
Then we see Rhaenyra in council saying that we lost our biggest dragon, and Sir Alfred is arguing with Rhaenyra as he says women have not seen battles and are not equipped for them. To which she replies, "There has been peace in our lifetime, and you have not seen battles either." She kind of put him in his
Exactly.
place.
Like, yeah, like that. I mean, on both sides, both like that goes for like both sides. Uh, both women on both sides. Oh my God, words. Because they're both kind of like all the men are like, oh, we know better. We've been to war. Most of these people have not been to fucking war. So, like, what are you talking about? Like, who are you to shut her up because you think yeah, you think you know better than her? You have just the same level of experience of war as she does.
Then we hear Jace tell Bela that he's going to Harrenhal to see what Daemon is up to, and Bela tells him that this is his mother protecting him as he is the assassin. He says that he must act. Then we move on and see Daemon on his dragon talking. I can't remember, was he talking to the Brackens or the Blackwoods? That
It was
he
the Breckons.
okay, he says he needs to bow to him, and then they say they choose fire. And then I put, oh hell, Damon's up to no good.
That was
That was the
again, that
best
was such
scene.
a
Like,
funny scene. Everyone,
I was sure
I
it was
think that might have been my
chose fire. Like he was astonished, and they
right.
were like, "Yeah, burn us. We don't care."
Like that may have been the funniest scene of the episode, or like maybe my favorite scene of the episode.
Then we meet Jane Eyre, and I put she is annoying. And why are you talking like you're some bigwig? Because she was kind of
Yeah,
talking.
like yours.
Can't think of Bela's sister's name, but she was kind of talking down to Bela's sister, and I was like, man, I'd put this bitch in her place.
Yeah, like your side quest, a side character. Why are you feeling so higher than thou?
Then we see Rhaenyra talking to Mysaria. I might screw that name up. And Mysaria tells her that Christian Cole made a mistake parading a dragon's head through the streets like a prize of war. She tells them the people are afraid and sees this as an ill omen. She says, don't underestimate your subjects. Then we move on and see Rhaenyra and Baela talking about Rhaenys. Then we see the witch, who is Allison Rivers, talking to Damon and says, it's a pity you never knew your mother. His mother died when Damon was 3. Now we go back to Damon having hallucinations about things, and we get some interesting scenes of him getting
Oh
it
my
on.
God.
And to come to find out, it was his mother. What the bloody hell?
Yeah, I think that was like the nail in the coffin for me. I'm like, okay, can we like not see any more of these scenes? Like at this point, it's starting to feel like I love Damon, but it's starting to feel like filler,
Hmm.
and it's starting to get especially. I don't want to
It
see him
don't feel like
talking to
it's doing
mom.
anything for his character. Like, it's not like
Yeah,
his character arc is not like, okay, I've done all these bad things. I realize I've done these bad things. I want to do better.
yeah, yeah. Like there, it's not progressing his character at all.
Hmm. I put, well, damn, talk about your mom playing tricks on you.
Oh, oh my God. Yeah.
Then we're getting an update on Aegon from broken bones and injuries that are not that they may not be aware of, as the Grand Mastros says the king's fate lies with the gods. Alicent says they need to name a regent to take his place, and she nominates herself. The council says she is not suited in this war, and they want Aemon. Are you glad Aemon was nominated to rule and not Alicent?
Honestly, mm, I think they might. Mm, no, I think. Well, I do like Eamon, but I think he's too aggressive and too well, clearly too aggressive, and yeah, he just wants power. So no, I
Yeah, I think
think
he's a little
Allison.
aggressive and hot-headed. Like he doesn't really
Yeah,
think things out like Allison would. Like I think Allison
exactly.
would take information and like process it and be like, okay, so and so said this,
Yeah,
so and so said that.
just
This
like the
I
Prince
think
who was promised thing
Aiden was
situation.
like, we just gonna go blow shit up. Boom.
Yeah, yeah. Like I think what proved to me is that she is maybe maybe not maybe redeemable is like her reaction to like the well is kind of her reaction to like the prince Rhaenyra's telling her about the prince who was promised in that like that situation. I mean, she did kind of double down, which pissed me off, but she actually is still doing research about it and this and that. So I'm curious, like I went off on a tangent, but I'm curious as to what's gonna like if anything is
Play
gonna
a
happen
role.
from that.
Yeah.
But yeah, I think it shows that she, even though she doubled down, she's still like more level-headed, and I don't know, more, she wants to learn about what's going on before she makes the decision. Well, kind of, but
So
yeah.
Alicent says that Aemon is young and his failure to show restraint. Everyone agrees that it should be Aemon, even Larius and Sir Christian. I put damn bitch fucking people and getting turned on.
Yeah,
Then we see Aemon get
yeah,
up and move to the king's chair and ask, "What is our standing?" You see Alicent sitting in her chair, pissed, and it seems like she's zoning out of what's being said.
yeah. I, that scene was interesting. It's like, I don't know. I would love to know what she was thinking. Um, but yeah, I don't blame her for getting pissed and zoning out, because like they're not listening to her. They don't respect her. I mean, aside from walking out, that's like the next best thing is just to tune them out.
Then Aemon says to lock the city gates. Nobody leaves the city as they tell him the people are scared and leaving. Then he says, cut down the rat catchers. Then they cut down the rat catchers and we see the dog. Oh, I love the dog who
Yeah,
begins to follow the barrel as they're carrying out the dead bodies. That was so sad. Then
yeah,
Alicent asks Cole if his loyalty has faded and or only has loyalty at night. Yeah, he only has loyalty at night when you're sucking his dick.
yeah,
Then Christian Cole says, "We have given the war to the dragons, and a dragon rider should lead us." Alicent says Christian has tossed her aside. Yes, bitch, he did. Then I put, oh
yeah.
shit, he got turned down again.
And honestly, he has a point though. Like, this is clearly, it's the War of the Dragons, and why the who the fuck is she? Like, your husband
Not a
just
dragon
died.
rider, is she?
No,
Okay.
she's not. So, damn, that is a really good point. And I forgot about that. But yeah, I do remember him saying that, and I was like, ooh, he roasted her. Like, he got her good with that. That was, yeah, yeah,
Then we
humbled
see,
her.
yeah. Then we see the guards closing the gates to the city as the mob tries to leave as they want food and they begin to argue. Then we see Jacarius with some people trying to make a deal. Then they say they want Harrenhal. I mean, why you want to run down castle?
For real though.
Then I put how cool to have a negotiation on a bridge leading toward the castle.
Yeah, yeah, that was interesting. I forgot that they
I think
have.
they're the
I don't know
fries,
if they have
right?
like a,
They were the
huh?
fries, right? The phrase. I think that was the main
Uh,
that he was negotiating with in in the twins.
yeah, I think so. Yeah, yeah. It's just it's odd that they have like a table on a bridge though. Like, the fuck. But it is very pretty. Um, very scenic.
It's kind of like the table is just sitting there for like you got to pay for passage or something. You know, like the troll under the bridge
Yeah,
where you have to pay to
yeah.
cross the bridge. That's kind of what I thought that was. I was like, oh shit, they're gonna have somebody sitting out there, so they gotta pay the toll.
A toll booth.
It's the first toll booth in history.
Right. Oh my God.
Then we see Allison River and Damon begin to talk as she says she hears things from the winds. I'm sure you do.
Right.
And then she goes, in the name of power, it's the women and children that will suffer. She got a point. Then we see
Mm.
Corliss standing, looking over the water as Bela approaches him. and comes to talk to him, and she tells him that Rhaenyra has asked him to become her hand. Corlys tells her that he would make her his heir, as Baela replies, I am blood and fire. Driftmark must pass to salt and sea. I'm liking Baela and her courage.
Agreed. And for her to say that to like her grandfather, and it seems like she's really young, so at such a young age, it's pretty powerful.
Then we see Sir Alfred come to see the Queen as she tells him he is correct. Then she sends him to Harrenhal, and he asks if she is removing him from the council. Then she asks him to find out what Damon's intentions are and as if he's raising an army for her or himself.
That was very interesting.
I kind of feel like
And she,
she's kicking him off the council by giving him this assignment.
yeah, I don't like the fact that he's like trying to trying to take the throne from, well, she doesn't have it yet, but when she gets it, it seems it will clearly it seems like he wants to take it. I don't like that. Like you married her, like stay with her and fight with her because we need all the dragons we can get.
Then we see Sir Simon Strong come into Damon's room and says that the Riverlands have come to have an audience with him. So evidently there was a big old fight between the Blackwoods and the Brackens, and the Riverlands said they
Yeah.
will not raise a banner for a tyrant. And then speaking of Sir Simon Strong, him refusing to call Damon king is priceless. He calls him the king consort.
Yeah, that was such an insult. And then yeah, was it he said that was hilarious as well when he was like, "Isn't king enough?" Like, he said something along the lines of that. That was so funny. Oh my God, he's like, he's so he's so petty when it comes to like titles. Clearly, oh my God.
Then we see the merchants are being turned away at King's Landing, and then the Red Keep tells the guard she must see an old friend. So I'll put he must be part of the secret society as he sneaks her in. I have a
Yeah,
feeling she's not gonna make it out alive.
no, and it's crazy because like, why are you going in there when people are trying to escape? Like, which is another thing. Why are y'all locking these people in? Like, if they don't want to be there, let them go. Like, they're starving. They want food, and y'all aren't feeding them. So, why are you holding them hostage? That's not a way to win over people.
And that's how tyrants think. Then we see Corliss
Exactly.
about then we see Corlius thinking about the hand offer, and it's fitting it's dark as we see Aemon looking at the Iron Throne. Then Helena approaches and asks him, was it worth the price? I think she knows. I think she knows
Absolutely.
100%.
Oh, she can see like the future. She doesn't really know what she's seeing, like, but like another person in Game of Thrones, she has dragon dreams and she can it's basically like her seeing the future. She doesn't know like it's like puzzle piece it's like puzzle pieces and she doesn't know where they go like in the time like on the timeline, but I feel like she already knows. She already knew that was going to happen, which I think is explains why she's kind of like not upset about it. It seems like she's not very. I mean, it is her brother, so how upset could you really be? But yeah, also, well, I mean, but I don't know. But yeah, she knows.
Then we see Alicent with King Aegon, and she turns and walks out as he says, Mommy. That scene kind of broke me. That was
Yeah,
a touching scene.
yeah, yeah, and I felt like, 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 yeah, and I felt before he said that, like it seemed like she kind of cared, like she had was showing compassion towards him, like she kind of like petted him or something along the lines of that. Yeah.
Hmm. Then we see Rhaenyra looking at some old books to find a way to take down Vygar, and then her and Jace begin looking through some old records to find those within her bloodline that may be able to become dragon riders. And that is how we end this week's episode.
I'm super excited to see who and well, I'm excited to see more people become dragon riders and to see who becomes dragon riders.
I am too.
Um
This,
and
go ahead.
one one thing in my notes is that some someone said is that we're supposed to be getting another big dragon fight by the end of this season. So I'm curious as to when and well,
You
who,
know what
when,
they're
and
gonna do?
where this will
They're
be.
gonna wait till episode 8, and they're gonna give you the dragon fight, and they're not gonna let you know which one dies.
I
And they're gonna
know until the
change
next
it until
season.
season 3, and you're gonna be like, "You bitches."
I know. I feel like oh, this would be juicy, but I don't know what happens. So I'm gonna theorize that it's gonna happen in King's Landing, and at the same time, it's gonna happen probably over people. I mean, over like the King's Landing people, while they're still trying, while they're probably like by this point probably having like a full-fledged riot because like they're trapped and they're starving. Um, so yeah, I don't know if that's going to happen, but that would be very interesting to watch. Um, but I mean, the teasers that they've thrown in this seem like, in my opinion, make it seem plausible because freaking Vagar is like down recovering. It's the perfect time.
Hmm? Moving on for previews for next week, we see them in the dragon pit, and we get the new dragon evidently. And you see the people in
Yes.
landing going crazy trying to get out. And I feel like Aemon is going to try and kill Aegon, who is now helpless.
I hope not. I wouldn't be surprised if he tried to finish what he started.
Hmm.
But yeah, I hope he doesn't though. Like, don't be a complete dick.
Then we see Rhaenyra saying, "It's my fault that you have forgotten to fear me." And those
Oof.
are some of the previews for next week's episode.
Yeah, that was a powerful line. I forgot about that too. But who was she saying that to? Because I forgot.
Jace,
Was it like her
her son.
who? Oh shit. She should be saying that to like the people in her like her court or whatever. Like her intelligence people or whatever. Because well, I don't think they need to fear her, but they need to respect her. And the quickest way the the quickest way to get respect is to inflict fear. Just look at the greens.
Hmm.
But yeah.
So that's all I have. You have anything else you want to add?
Uh no, I think that's it. I think we covered everything on my notes.
Well, I want to thank everybody for watching or listening to this episode of the mid podcast review of House of the Dragon, Season 2, Episode 5. Make sure to follow us on X at the mid podcast. And make sure you hit the subscribe button and the bell for notifications on YouTube so you know when this video gets uploaded. And also, don't forget to follow my good friend Jordan. All his socials are up there in the corner of his picture. And we look forward to seeing you for episode 6. And as always, we'll be back on Tuesday or Wednesday to discuss it as we are winding down toward the end of season 2.
Yeah, we only have like 3 more episodes, which is crazy.
Yes. So, until then, you mid peasants, don't lose your head, beware of stealth dragon, and don't try to be like King Aegon and channel your inner Darth Vader. We'll see you next time. Bye.